Yo, what is going on, everyone in the crypto space? Thank you guys for tuning in the channel today. Really do appreciate it. Now, I want to go ahead and discuss a lot about xRapid today. So we do have some compelling evidence that xRapid is currently live as of now. Well, we do know that, Qualix is using xRapid at a pretty small scale, but we do have some pretty compelling evidence that does suggest that xRapid utility is growing behind the scenes, although we're not seeing massive movements on price because the volume is still quite insignificant to the entirety of the daily volume. We are seeing some growth. Again, and this is not 100% confirmed, but when I show you these charts provided by Galgatron on Twitter, it really does kind of prove, again, it's not proof, but in my opinion, it kind of proves that xRapid is live behind the scenes, and there are more companies going live on xRapid on smaller scale, and XRP really is being used, because what I'm about to show you with these certain graphs of data, it really does make a compelling statement that xRapid is growing behind the scenes and more utility is starting to kick in. And again, we're not seeing that effect on price because, it's when we're first starting out on xRapid, we're not pushing billions a day, so it ain't going to move the market too much. But still, if we can even have that, even have a bit of that compelling evidence that is showing that it's growing behind the scenes, that's just going to continue to show that in the future, it's just going to keep growing and growing, and we can just, overall, in a span of time, just continue to grow the liquidity of the XP ecosystem. That'll result in the price ended up being higher, and then with the higher price and more liquidity, you got banks that now can push billions to their network and make tons of money. So let's go ahead, and before we get into it, XRP did see a little spike. This actually did happen on stream. So we were hanging down in the high 20s range for about a couple hours, and then market did not like it, so we just bounced out of that, had a little retrace, and now we're sitting around 31 cents. And I do have, actually, just so you guys know, I do have money pending to an exchange right now, so I am gearing up to buy up some more XRP, so kind of hoping we stay low. I know it sounds kind of sacrilegious. Hey, I want XRP to go lower, but I'm just being a little greedy, so don't mind me. Again, since we are going into the weekend, I would not expect any sort of breakout, but weekend breakouts do happen. Again, this is cryptocurrency, very irrational market. Usually in the crypto space, I'd say about 95% of the time, weekends are either consolidations or going down. There's never going up on a weekend, but hey, this is cryptocurrency, you never know. Me personally, I'm either expecting a consolidation or a downtrend over the weekend, and I'll be looking to pick up on those days. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Galgatron yesterday actually posted this picture right here post this graph. Even more compelling evidence to suggest xRapid is actually, is the change we're seeing in the chart is actually from the usage of xRapid. So it says the average payment amount dropped considerably when the sub 1400 XP volume jumped up, and we'll talk about in a bit why the sub 1400 XRP is an important piece here, suggesting a large number of small payments, precisely what we'd expect from xRapid usage. Notice 24-hour mini peaks showing regional bias, and he thinks, based on the time where the volume is really peaking, he's suggesting it's probably the United Arab Emirates, since 1 o'clock UTC is kind of it tends to be the time when the xRapid volume that we're seeing is actually peaking. And then just a couple of minutes ago here, he does say another great day. The consistency of this high volume, low value payments is really building confidence that it's xRapid. So let me explain this chart to you and why it really makes sense to actually be xRapid. So now this is today, where you posted this today. This is up to date, 15-minute intervals in a 1 week span. So everything you're seeing on the screen right now, that is a 1 week span in 15-minute intervals, sort of like a chart when you 15 or 30 minute or 4 hours, so similar kind of thing, right? So the orange right here that you see is actually the average payment, and that is the average payment size. Now, what you guys got to understand is when xRapid is with utility within these institutions, on average, payments aren't going to be massive. Like, think about when you go to a bank, let's make payments to someone. They're usually not, gigantic payments. They're usually in the realm of a couple $100, especially for remittances in these emerging markets. Payments we could assume are, for the most part, going to be in the couple $100 range. And that's why when Galgatron actually put this graph together with Weetsewin's data sources and whatnot, there's a key figure there of less than 1400 XRP, which I believe right now that's about a little bit under $450 of data that's showing. So any transaction above 1400 XRP is counted irrelevant in this chart, because we're looking at these smaller couple $100 payments that are very common with remittances. I think I was reading some statistic, don't quote me on it, some article is saying like the average remittance payment out of out of the Philippines was like 150 to something like that. But basically, we can assume that if someone is making a remittance payment, it's going to be in the couple hundreds dollar range, especially in these emerging markets. People aren't sending over thousands or millions. It's in the hundreds range that they're sending to their families. So the chart here, everything, it's all payments under 1400 XRP. So what we're seeing here, that's really kind of the compelling evidence of xRapid is implemented and is growing behind the scenes, again, because Ripple's not a consumer facing company. They're not obligated to share all these kinds of information with us. So what you see here in this graph that's significant, you see this cross between the blue chart and the orange chart. And the blue chart is the total payments. So the blue chart is the total number of payments in that actual interval. And then what you're seeing here in the orange line is the average payment. So what's happening is that the number of payments less than 1400 XRP are actually, you can see, spiked up, and you see the amount of these smaller payments is going up, while at the same time the average payment size is going down, suggesting that we're getting a lot more smaller transactions on the network because it's actually being used in these remittances. And again, when people do remittances, guys, they're not sending tons of money at once. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of money is sent over, with remittances, like something like 600 billion a year is just remittances. But we're talking about individual payments here. And these individual remittance payments, they add up to be like billions of dollars a year. But if we're looking at the individual payment, they're usually in the hundreds range. They're not very big. So what we're seeing happening on the network here, really live essentially, from the last week, is that the average payment size is starting to go down under 1400 XRP. So under 1400 XRP, the average payment value is dropping, which sounds like a bad thing. It's really not. This is just data. So the average payment value is going down, but the number of the payments are going up. And with this, with this shift here, you're seeing that there's what essentially this graph is telling us is that there is a large multiplicity of smaller payments. And guys, what did David Schwartz say was the initial plan of building up liquidity for xRapid? Is starting out with low value, high volume corridors. See where that starts to really play in? I mean, when you pay attention for long enough, things just start coming together. Schwartz exactly said, they're going after corridors that are low payment value, low value payments, but at the same time are high volume. So what we're seeing now in the network is that the average payments are dropping and the number of those smaller payments are going up. And it ties in exactly with what David Schwartz himself said, that you're building up the low value, high volume corridors, and that's the initial plan to build up the liquidity xRapid before we can move on to some of those more efficient, larger corridors. So to me, this honestly seems like this spike, what this was caused from, is some sort of institution going live on xRapid. Now, I'm not going to speculate how big or small, because big institutions can do small corridors and small to medium enterprises can do the exact same thing. They can do the same corridors as big institutions. So I'm not going to say what kind of institution this is or who it might be, but what this does suggest to us, and again, it's not 100% proof, but to me, this is proof, in my opinion, but it's up to you guys. This is not, this is not like 100% proof, but to me, I feel like this is very compelling evidence. But what this is telling me is that we do have some sort of client starting to put xRapid into production, because all of a sudden you can see the average payment volume here bouncing between 300, 900, let's say average around 500 to 600. All of a sudden the average value drops to like 100 to 200, but then all of a sudden the number of these payments starts to rise, suggesting to me that we're seeing that literally right here we just witnessed an xRapid corridor go live, where it's again low value, high volume. Exactly what Schwartz said, which was the plan to initially build liquidity on xRapid. So there's kind of the compelling evidence of xRapid essentially being put into production, and I guarantee you guys, if this graph is really, if we're interpreting it correctly, then definitely some company went live on xRapid right here. Also, one thing I do want to state, now we're going to go over some real info here, some real information. One thing that the Mercury FX CEO said was that in this report back in October 1st when the xRapid went live, that was an amazing day. I'm going to remember that day for the rest of my life. The promise of digital assets has always been faster, more efficient payments. That's why we started exploring xRapid for financial services platforms, Paylix and Qualit. Oh, wait. My bad. Okay, my bad. Okay, wrong one. Mercury FX. I thought this was the Mercury FX one. No, this is the Mercury FX. So Mercury FX has been working closely with Ripple for more than a year to bring the power of RippleNet to our customers. And pilot tests, we saw the benefits of xRapid, and we're excited to roll out commercial payments within the quarter. So one thing I did want to know is that we don't know. Qualix, they're live right now on small scale. Catalyst Corporate Credit Union, that's a wild card. We really just found out about them the day they went live. Like the day xRapid went live, we just found out Catalyst Corporate Credit Union was actually an xRapid partner. So we haven't they're really a wild card. We have no clue. But Mercury FX did say they will roll out commercial payments within the quarter. So potentially by the end of the year, we might be hearing a little announcement on Mercury FX going live on xRapid, because they did state they're excited to roll out the commercial payments within the quarter. And this was stated in the fourth quarter. Again, and just today, something we cover on stream, SendFriend. Not to be confused with SendFriend, for you guys who understand the inside joke. SendFriend, they actually came out with a tweet today saying, we make it easier for Filipinos abroad to send money home with lower fees and instant access to those who use it. Sign up to receive updates as we prepare to launch. Again, something to know for Filipinos. And guess what? One of the initial corridors for xRapid is the United States to the Philippines. That's why we have the liquidity provider Bittrex in the US and the liquidity provider in the Philippines, coins.ph. So obviously, xRapid right there. And by the way, SendFriend is a confirmed xRapid partner. And by the way, when you click on this link right here, what happens is you come to this page of, hey, you know, smartest way to send money to the Philippines. Hey, sign up to claim your first 3 transactions for free. That's the power of the RippleNet, providing, you know, lower class families in emerging markets their first 3 transactions, their first 3 remittances for free just by signing up early. And again, trusted and supported by Accelerated MasterCard Foundation, Ripple, okay, and Deloitte, which they did some sandbox stuff with Ripple back in the day as well. So what happens if you do enter your name and email, which I did, and then you get taken to this page right here. So great, you're on the wait list, want early access, skip ahead by referring friends, and I'm like 1146 in position. But again, the most important thing here is runs on Ripple. So now we do know that SendFriend, as sign up as we prepare to launch, you know, this new platform for them, it does indeed run on Ripple, and they are an xRapid partner, so we should see that xRapid deployment coming pretty soon. So guys, what we do know, xRapid is live. xRapid is being pushed into deployment, so now the final question is, who is live on xRapid, and if they're planning on going live on xRapid, when do they plan on going live? So SendFriend, I believe the one of the heads of their company responded on Facebook and said, like, Q1 2019, don't quote me on that, but that's just what I faintly remember. So Q1 2019 for SendFriend potentially. Qualix, they're currently already live, but I'd like to see them scale to get. I'd like to see them scale to, you know, push more volume through, as well as Mercury FX. They are going to come out rolling out within the quarter. And by the way, we're not even mentioning the 200 production contracts, which we have no clue if they mention xRapid or not. And xCurrent can kind of seamlessly plug into xRapid, so at one point or another, all the clients are going to end up using xRapid. So guys, there you guys go. I wanted to bring you guys a video today showing some pretty compelling evidence of xRapid actually being live and put into production and seeing a new institution hop on. That's why we're seeing the low value, high volume corridors where the average payment drops, but the number of transactions actually spikes. So to me, again, this ain't 100% proof, but in my opinion, this is evidence enough for me that xRapid is being put together behind the scenes, and we're just waiting for the liquidity to grow, have the XP ecosystem grow more, and then go ahead and really just get this thing going in the banking industry, start pushing billions through, and get that R34 GTR. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Really do appreciate it. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, check the links in the description if you want to support the channel. Get yourself Nano S, keep that cryptocurrency safe. Turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video or stream. And as always, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think this is compelling evidence enough for you that xRapid is actually live behind the scenes and is currently being rolled out into production? Let me know in the comments below. As always, really do appreciate your insight, and I'll see you guys in the next one.